Hey, welcome back to Unfiltered, my journey on Zepbound. This is week 9, and my weight has been fluctuating between 132 to 134 pounds, so that's anywhere from 10 to 11 pounds off. I still have about 7 or 8 pounds to go. But that's not really what I want to talk about this week. The thing that I want to most focus on this week is the tricks that your brain plays on you. So I actually took a 2 month progress photo of myself. I have done, I did it in underwear and a sports bra when I first got started on day one. And then I did one a month later in October. And then I did one at the end of November. And when I looked at that picture, I didn't think that could see much change. When I look in the mirror every morning, I don't feel like I'm seeing a huge change, even though I've covered this in previous episodes where I'm definitely beginning to love the way I look in my clothes. And I think I had shared this with you that I'm really shooting for loving the way I look without my clothes. But comparing those pictures side by side, I was actually amazed at the difference that I could see. I mean, look for yourself. Here's the September 27th picture, and here is November 27th. And it just blew me away that I could see this level of transformation. Like, I actually feel like I have a waist now. Basically, the message that I'm taking away is that the documentation matters. If I didn't do this, if I hadn't taken the before pictures, if I hadn't recorded my weight, if I'm just to look in the mirror, even though I'm standing on that scale every single day, I would still find it really hard to believe that I am looking different. Even though the clothes are telling me a story, it just blows me away the kind of mind tricks our brains play on us. And if the brain can do that with something like this, then it just makes me question so much else in my life that I have maybe thought that I was my reality, and perhaps it's just my perception based on information that I have in front of me. And it's really kind of making me think about things a little bit more deeply and a little bit differently, that's for sure. This past Thursday was Thanksgiving, and I had my whole family over, and I love Thanksgiving so much. It's my absolute favorite holiday. It's the one holiday that we cannot commercialize, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm truly grateful for the gathering of family around the table to eat together and to share stories of the year that's gone by. And I was genuinely worried when I started on Zepbound 2 months ago about how I was going to deal with a day that's really all about cooking and all about eating. My husband and I have traditionally hosted Thanksgiving and cooked Thanksgiving almost all the 24 years that we've been together. Maybe a couple of years where we went to other people's homes where we didn't end up cooking. But we love Thanksgiving. We love to cook together. We love the dance that we have in the kitchen. We work really seamlessly together. And I was truly worried that I wasn't going to, you know how sometimes when you're cooking all day, you just don't feel like eating? Certainly that has happened in the past with other days, if I'm preparing for a party or something, but it's never happened for Thanksgiving because I think part of it is the anticipation of sitting down with everyone and eating together. Well, this Thanksgiving, I was worrying about that because how was I going to feel after having cooked all day? Was I going to have the appetite to eat at least a little bit of everything that I had cooked, that we had cooked together? Because that's how we show our love for each other, is through our preparation and presentation of food for each other, and of course, our family as well. And I'm happy to report that I enjoyed every morsel of my Thanksgiving meal and I ate everything. I ate much smaller portions than I would normally have eaten. So whereas in the past I might have taken two tablespoons or two portions of the sweet potato casserole or the mashed potato, and my husband is the mashed potato whisperer. Let me just tell you, his mashed potato and gravy is next level. And he had smoked the turkey, and it just looked absolutely beautiful. Everything looked wonderful. And we have some recipes that we have been cooking for over 20 years together. So they're very special for us. And I was interested to see how I would do. I enjoyed every bite that I took. I just took small portions, like I said. I ate everything in my plate. And then when it came to dessert, whereas I would have had at least a thin slice of the cranberry upside down cake that we make every year, I had just 1 teaspoon. And it was as delicious as I remember it. And it was more than enough to satisfy my desire to taste that familiar, delicious flavor. So I feel like Thanksgiving was a huge success. I didn't overeat. I didn't stuff myself silly, pun intended there. I saw a maybe half a pound uptick on the scale that the next morning, which I was very pleased about, and I completely expected. And then, of course, we made meal out of all of the leftovers over the weekend. And so this weekend, I definitely have seen a 2 pound uptick from, some pre-Thanksgiving till now. And I know that it's water weight. I know that it's sodium and, carb related, and that all of this will come off once I stabilize my diet in this coming week. I'm also really pleased to say that my strength, my exercise regimen has been going really, really well. My personal trainer is very pleased with my progress in the gym. I can see some really great muscle definition in my arms and shoulders and biceps. My legs are really strong. And when I first started on Zepbound, I kind of wasn't because I think, as with many of us who first get started on this GLP-1 journey, you kind of forget to eat. And, if you watch some of the earlier episodes, you'll see me talking about the fact that I really have to be careful about my intake. In fact, I had a lot of comments from viewers who said, you got to eat more. Like you're not eating nearly enough calories. And that was showing up in my workouts because I was actually getting like lightheaded and he had to alter my workout, which sort of defeated the purpose of hiring a personal trainer because I'm hiring someone to push me beyond the threshold that I can push myself. And I can push myself pretty hard. And so not showing up optimally fueled was just detrimental to my own workout. And I'm pretty good about eating almost every couple of hours. So I'll have a healthy breakfast. Like today, I had scrambled eggs mixed with turkey, ground turkey that had been prepared for tacos, so it was leftovers. And I had 2 scrambled eggs with that. I did batch cooking of boiled eggs today. I'm making a quinoa salad for the week ahead. And I will share my quinoa salad recipe in the comments or in the description below because it is such a great way to get a good amount of protein and yet get those complex carbs and the high fiber that you need when I mean, we all need to make sure that we take in enough fiber, and I don't think that we do. The other thing I want to say is that if this resonates with you, if you're experiencing any of this body dysmorphia where you're seeing yourself in a certain way, but then the documentation is telling you a different story, I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear from you to know that I'm not alone on this, that you're experiencing this too, because it'll help me feel like this is part of the journey. I think documentation is critical. I shared those pictures with you, and that was a huge moment of vulnerability, by the way. I have not even been in a bikini. I have not been in public in a bikini. Like I don't wear a bikini. I've never worn a bikini. So the fact that I was able to share those pictures with you, it tells me that I'm making so much progress on this journey in a way that I don't think I anticipated. That sort of confidence is building in my body, in myself, in my ability to feel comfortable with how I look, no matter what it is. Not feeling the need to be fully made up before I come and talk to you on camera. This is also a really big deal for me. Like in my entire life, I don't think I've ever taken any pictures of myself that have been used publicly without a full face makeup on. Maybe not very heavy makeup, but certainly for me to feel like I can just be here unfiltered with you, it's a really big deal. And I want to say thank you to you for creating this safe space to let someone like me share my story in a way that it's a completely judgment-free zone. So I still have about 7 to 8 pounds to go. I'm at 134 pounds. I want to get to 125. So I suppose that's closer to 9 pounds at the moment. This is a 2 pounds up thanks to Thanksgiving. I'm feeling pretty good about it, even though the 2 pounds up did freak me out momentarily. I do recognize that it is increased sodium intake, increased simple carbohydrate intake. Of course, the stuffing that we make is absolutely delicious. So it's an andouille sausage, so it's a Cajun style stuffing that again has been a recipe that we have used for over 20 years. We have this incredible spiced pumpkin soup that is our go-to lunch afternoon of Thanksgiving, and we'll eat dinner. We'll have our Thanksgiving meal around 5. And so it was a day filled with joy, filled with laughter, filled with family, and I hope the same was true for you. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for spending a few moments of your time with me. That's the unfiltered truth. I'll see you next Sunday.